All right. Maybe you need to send an email to your accountant for taxes, right? Maybe you need to send someone documents for insurance. Maybe you need to email the IRS. Maybe you need to talk to unemployment services through email, right? There's a bunch of different reasons why you would need a Gmail account or an email account. I am just using Gmail because most people use Gmail. If you need a different one, it's very, very similar. But for this, we're just going to use Gmail. What we're going to do is we're just going to navigate, type in this bar and go to google.com, or you can go to gmail.com. After doing that, we're going to go to Gmail if we're on Google. And if you go to gmail.com, you're just going to click create an account. And there's two places to do that, here or here. We go to Gmail, we create our account. Here, we're making our account. This is where you put your first name, your last name, and your username. This does not have to be your real first name, if you're worried about that. You can make this anonymous, right? It does not matter. For your username, if you need it to be professional, try and make it professional, right? Maybe you do use your full name. I think most people nowadays have an email account that is just their name at Gmail or at Yahoo or at their university email account. Basically, it's something that we remember and that looks somewhat professional if we need it to. If you don't need it to be professional, you can name this whatever is available through the database that Gmail has. So maybe it's dog lover, and maybe dog lover is taken. So maybe 44995. It is not taken here. So now all we need to do is create a password. You can set this to something that you will remember. Maybe it's my lover 1999, right? Or your dog's name and some numbers. You can set this, but just realize the easier it is for you to remember, it's probably not a good password to use. And I really, really recommend using a randomly generated password. And you can do that very, very easily. You just go back to Google and we type in random password generator, right? You can go here. You can choose whatever one of these websites you want. I'm just going to use this one as an example. We decide we want a weak password or do we want a strong password? Let's go with strong just for this example. We're going to include symbols, include numbers, include lowercase, include uppercase. Basically, we're just making this hard for people to be able to crack. And then once we're done selecting the options we want, we just generate password. Now, the reason why I went over this is because some passwords don't let you use symbols and some don't let you use characters, specific characters, right? Like these ambiguous characters. Sometimes you can have them, sometimes you can't. We're just going to say no and generate password, right? So we have this arbitrary password that basically means nothing to us, but it's secure. It's harder for someone to understand and crack, especially through social engineering. So we could just copy this password and we could just put this password here. We put it here twice. I really, really recommend you write this password down somewhere where you are able to access this whenever you need it. Personally, I write all of my randomly generated passwords in a book or use a password manager like LastPass or OnePass. We can do that in another video if people are interested though. So basically we just hit next and it will ask us for a phone number. Use your phone number just to verify that you are a human being and not a bot. You're not a program making multiple Gmail accounts. You put your phone number in here. The next thing that will happen is you'll receive a text message. You put in that 6-digit verification code and then you continue. You can remove this phone number after you put in that verification. And you'll have the option to put in a recovery email address. This is in case you lose access to this Gmail account. You can use another email address. It does not matter what email address you use. It can be from Yahoo. It can be from at Amazon.com, just for an example. It doesn't have to be a Gmail recovery address. That's optional as well. And then you just continue. So once you get through that, this is where you will end up after it loads. Okay? You have primary tabs, social tabs, promotion tabs. You don't really need to pay attention to this, but things will end up in different folders. Say if you subscribe to, I don't know, Walmart newsletter, maybe it'll go in the social or promotions tab, right? Google tries to figure out a nice way to organize, like pleasure or entertainment services and not necessarily put them in primary, right? But you can change this. All you have to do is go to the settings cogwheel up here. And then we just choose default, which we can customize. And we can undo the promotions and the social and then save. Boom, now they're gone. That's personal preference. I prefer it to look like this. I don't really like the promotions and social tabs. We have this section over here, and this section confuses a lot of people. If you do not need to do online hangouts or join meetings through Google Hangouts, you don't have to worry about this section. You can just click this button and it will disappear. Or if it's on here, you can click that button as well and it will disappear, right? Now, how do we make an email? We hit this big button, compose. You will probably already know what email address that you're sending to, but for this example, we'll just do sender. And we put in our subject. These are just placements for me. Like, you put whatever you want here, right? This is just an example. Here we have undo and redo. We can change our font. Just know that if you want to change your font, you either have to do it before or you have to write something and then highlight it and then choose the font. I would just leave this as whatever is default, though. Most people do. And you can even change the size of things. It depends how you want to format your email. You can bold things. You can italicize things. You can do both. It's all what you want. You can emphasize different things in your email doing this. You can change the text color. That is something I really never do, though. And then maybe we're bulleting things, right? Maybe we're just sending a list. So object 1. This is just an example. I'm going to unformat all of those fancy options. We're just going to hit this button, right? We have a numbered list here, and we can choose where we align this. Most people don't get into the nitty-gritty like this. And just to get this bullet point, all I did was click this arrow and choose this bullet point, right? We have quotes, we have strike-throughs, we have remove formatting. Most people don't need to do that, though, right? They're just saying, hey, I need help with X, right? Cool. Love senioritis. And then we can attach files down here. We can insert links to YouTube videos or really anything. We can insert emojis. We can insert photos here if we have photos on our Google Drive or anything like that. But usually we'll just use the attach files. A window will pop up on your computer and you choose the file, right? Maybe navigate to your desktop through the window and choose the file that you want to use, and you can even drag it over. If it's on your desktop, you can just simply minimize this window, right? Make it smaller. All I do is I just, with my left click, I just pull that down and it minimizes it for us. And then we can navigate off of this onto our desktop and drag the folder or the file over. And then all we have to do is hit send. And that's it. And it's not a big deal if you get out of this, right? I hit escape out of that. Oh, you might be like, oh crap, where did it go? It went right here. It's okay. It went in your drafts folder. Google saved it for you, right? It's okay if this disappears. It goes down here. That's just minimizing it. And it's okay if we get out of it. It went right down here. Now, if this happens a lot, you might have a lot of drafts. So we could select which drafts to basically delete, right? We just click those. We choose these ones that we are choosing to delete, and we just discard those drafts, and now they're gone. You might find yourself in a situation where someone says they sent you an email and it might have ended up in your spam folder. Well, where is that in Gmail? You just go navigate to More underneath Drafts. And here we have more folders, categories, and things. We can look at all mail. We can see our drafts in here as well if we did not delete them. We can see our sent emails and who we sent them to. But back to the spam folder. It's right here. It has this icon right here. And we just click spam. Hooray, we have no spam here, but maybe your document or something that you need ended up in here. You just click spam and you'll find the email here. Hopefully, if you did get it, it would probably be in spam. If it's not in spam and it's not in trash, maybe you accidentally read it and trashed it, then you should tell them you did not get it and it is not in your spam account. Over here is just a way to minimize these. Maybe you start to become a Gmail wizard and you really understand these icons, right? Because some of them are pretty self-explanatory, like starred. If it's important to you, you can star it. You can go into your starred and it'll be right here. Let's unstar it. We go back to our inbox. And now if we go back in here, because we unstarred it, it's not in here. It's maybe you use this account for lots of different things, including like tax documents. Oh, okay, my accountant sent me this. I'm going to need this later. We star that and it's saved in there. It's personal preference on how you want to organize it. But all this does is minimize this. If you're on a public computer, you can log out very, very easily. You just go over here to your account. After we're done what we need to do, we just sign out. I always feel very, very weird leaving my email accounts on public computers, especially when I was in college, because I don't really trust everyone. So we would just remove the account easily by hitting remove account right here. Remove this account. It will no longer be used with Google services on this browser. That's okay. It's just saying that it won't show up when other people are accessing it. And you could still sign in when you're ready to use your account again, which is why another reason you should know or you should be able to access your password. So because we're able to access our password or we know our password, we just remove. You do not have to do this if you are the only user on your computer, or maybe it's a family computer, right? Most families aren't going to maliciously use your information. But leaving it on public computers, I feel very weird doing that. It's not something I would recommend. So now we're signed out. And you made a Gmail account, and now you know how to navigate it for important things. And you know how to sign out once you're done. And that's it. If this changes in the future, I will make a new video for you. But please, it's okay to be afraid or frustrated with these things that we have to do now in life, right? Not everyone needed an email account back in the day. Nowadays, it's so much more useful to have an email account, right? It is almost a necessity. That is how we do it, and it's very, very easy. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later.